Christ is with us in the church to pray with us in times of sorrow or joy, to teach us the way to love God, and so gather us to worship the God who wants everyone to be saved, as we heard in our second reading letter to Timothy. My friends, one lesson in how we are to love God comes from the first reading of Amos. In this first reading, he commands the leaders and the wealthy. He condemns the leaders and the wealthy of Israel. They are cheating the poor instead of treating them justly, we heard. They stage lavish pagan-style ceremonies with the money stolen from them. Driven by greed, they trample the needy and neglect their worship of God. They are serving Mammon, the devil of contentiousness, above God. The Lord sends Amos to announce the results of their hypocrisy. He brings the message that from the Lord that he will never forget the things that they have done. A second lesson comes from the parable that Jesus tells us in today's gospel reading about the dishonest steward. The steward is fired because he was squandering the master's property, but then commended for making decisions to benefit himself. It's kind of different, isn't it? The Lord condemns him and then he commends him. Here, Jesus isn't teaching us that it's okay to be dishonest. He is teaching us to be prudent in how we use all of the wealth and the gifts that we have. We have to be as prudent as the dishonest are in, amassing material wealth. For the disciples of Jesus, being prudent first means acknowledging all of the gifts that come from God are to be used for the greater good, not just for our own gain. The United States bishops echoed the importance of being prudent and just in a letter they wrote a few years ago entitled Everyday Christianity. All human beings have unique talents and gifts from God that we are called upon to develop and share. People who use their skills and expertise for the common good, the service of others, and the protection of creation are good stewards of the gifts that they have been given. Being prudent also means intentionally choosing to live the gospel values in all areas of our lives. The bishops write, living our faith in ordinary tasks of everyday life is an essential part of what it means to be holy today. The final lesson Jesus teaches in the gospel message is about the importance of being trustworthy. Everyday Christianity explains its importance when we labor with our honesty, serve those in need, work for justice and contribute to charity, we are using the talents to show our love, God's love for our brothers and sisters. My friends, each and every time we come into this church, into any holy place, we are nourished and fed by the beautiful word of the Lord, oftentimes challenging words that we hear from the scriptures, and also the Eucharist that gives us the grace to be able to gather here in church to worship, and then to leave this church and to minister to others. It's a challenge, for sure, to keep God first in our lives and to always act justly and prudently and honestly. But we are not alone, because Christ is with us through the Holy Spirit to inspire and to encourage us. Christ is with us in the Eucharist to strengthen our desire to become one with him and one like him. Let's give thanks every day for these gifts of his presence, that our love for him and desire to serve him will increase. Let us ask him every day for help in living justly and prudently and honestly. I would like us to take a few moments to personally think about how we are living justly and prudently and honestly for the Lord. How we are trying to obtain that higher realm of his presence that we hear about in the scriptures today. Let us bow our heads and think personally how we are living according to the ways of the Lord.